Good afternoon and welcome into Richmond Review live here on WBON TV. Michael Watkins here with you along with Mike Brewer, Ed McDaniel. We are awaiting the arrival of City Manager Rob Minerich. But guys, as we get ready for another busy couple of weeks for you all, just kind of give us a rundown of kind of what we've got going on right now here in the city of Richmond.
Sure, I can start.
Mike's nervous, folks. You got to listen.
Yeah, I'm
bear
tore
with
up
him
from
for a
the floor up.
Well, we know we got the Halloween Hoe-Down tomorrow,
Right.
and that's a big event, and you guys will be out there tomorrow with it, handing out candy, and it's going to be safely done. It's going to be done at Lake Reba. I think 6 to 8 is the time frame on that.
Right. It's going to be, I think it's going to be big. I think people are going to enjoy. You know, you're going to get to drive through and see what's going on, and we're going to decorate. We're going to have a couple tables set up, and along with decorations, and it may go as Michael Myers.
Dressed up as Michael Myers?
Yeah.
Is that scarier than his mask he's got on now?
Well, that's how he got started.
Okay. I got you. Well, we know, we were looking at the hold-down thing as a safe way for the kids to still get out. And normally we have the big festival-like atmosphere downtown, Ed, but obviously with COVID and everything else that's going on, not safe to have the atmosphere where everybody's lined up in line trying to make their way around. So this is still a way for the businesses and everybody else can get out there and introduce themselves to people here in the community.
Oh, you're absolutely right. With the pandemic going on right now, there's no way we could do it, the normal way. But this was as close to normalcy as we could get, and it seemed like the best option. So you look at Erin Moore; she's always coming up with some really great ideals out at the Parks and Rec, and this was another one, and we jumped on it. This is a perfect way of doing it. It's a good thing because, this way Mike doesn't hand out candy.
Yeah. So, or you don't eat the candy, maybe, because it's already wrapped up. You can't dig in there and get you a couple pieces out, Mike.
That's not going to stop me, Michael.
Well,
hey, let me say this, too, and I apologize for cutting in on you, but, we're going to still do Halloween here, too,
Yep.
From 6 to 8 on Halloween night. So we're trying to make things as close to normal as we can do in the city and still follow those guidelines set down by the CDC and the governor. So
we were talking before we came on the air about the high number of cases of COVID-19 in Kentucky right now. Is that something that, as we get closer, if those continue to rise, could those plans change, or are we still set on that right now?
I think we're still set on it right now, and it could change. We could get something from the governor that says we need to make those changes. I know I was late, by the way.
Oh, you're good.
City of Richmond's doing some road paving, and they had me detoured.
Well, now Mike said you was in.
Did somebody call him about that?
He said you was in line somewhere, getting food or something, maybe.
Lunch.
But yeah, so as of right now, is it everything still in place?
We're planning Halloween as scheduled, and. I heard on the way over here that Jefferson County's taking a hard look at fall sports. If they continue to stay as a red county, that the superintendent may call off fall sports. So it's been this way from the get-go. It's kind of adapt as we get it on a weekly basis, and that's what we'll have to do. But right now, Halloween's a go.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we've been paying close attention to with our stuff, especially with the sports side of it, because we know that if we enter that red category as a county, then sports could be canceled for a week, 2 weeks, however long until we get out of the red. But Madison County has been close several times, but I don't think we've ever creeped up into that red category. Whereas over in Estill County, it seems like every other day they're dipping in and out of the red and the current incidence rate. So that's one thing you got to pay close attention to. And then some of our teams could potentially see a team out of Jefferson County in the postseason maybe. So it could be a case where there's a lot of moving parts in that. And one thing that I keep saying at the end of each broadcast that we do with the sports broadcast is we got to do our part. We all wanted sports back. We all wanted Halloween. We all wanted to go out and eat at a restaurant. But and I understand that wearing these masks is not the easiest thing to do or the fashion thing to do, but if it allows us to go out there and do the things that we want, we got to do our part.
Yeah, absolutely. I was laying in bed last night watching the World Series. I'd always enjoy that, and probably snacking too much, But, I'm sitting there and there's no fans.
Yeah.
They had a short season. and I still enjoyed the game. And we have to adapt accordingly. I think we'll get back to normal eventually. But, you know, it's funny, you come in on a weekly basis, you have priorities. These guys and I talk about it all the time, where we're headed, and then we get to, that conversation may happen on a Monday. By Tuesday afternoon, we're adjusting accordingly, and that's just the way it is.
You know, when you look at all the different stuff as with Halloween, the Halloween Hoe-Down, how often do you and Aaron talk about just different events that you all can put on and work together on?
You know, she does a good job. Her and Wayne Winkler both in that department. Wayne is our grounds director as well, and we talk on a weekly basis about what their priorities are for parks. And her staff, Aaron Moore's staff, has done a wonderful job with being creative of how to get these events done during this pandemic. Because when we started talking about canceling the homecoming parade for Madison Central, I think it was, kind of started the idea of how we're going to have to operate, and she came up with all these great ideas. You know, the drive-by Christmas parade that they're going to do. I think they have a drive-in family movie this Saturday at EKU Alumni Coliseum. Right. The diverting some funds to buy new Christmas decorations for downtown. So, you know, and what's been good too is this mayor and commissioners have jumped on board and supported us in these changes, because we kind of moved some money to buy new decorations for Christmas, and looking forward to seeing those going up. They'll start going up November 2nd. So,
well, you talked about the Christmas parade, and that's a big deal every year, not only for the community, but for some of those businesses downtown too. They get a lot of, you know, like the restaurants downtown, some of the boutiques, they get some early shoppers maybe before people can go out and line up. So do we have a plan right now? And you mentioned the drive-by Christmas parade. Will that be different, or will that be in place of what the normal Christmas parade is?
It will be in place of what the normal Christmas parade is. I don't have the details yet, but I think the date is set, and what you'll be able to do is drive by the floats and look at the Christmas decorations, and it's a reverse Christmas parade.
Yeah. So instead of the parade actually coming through, the community will go drive by and see the. I like that idea, though. It keeps everybody safe.
And again, it goes to their creative ideas about how to do that and keep us safe. So,
you know, we've been very fortunate to have experienced people in positions that do this, like Aaron, in tourism, our street department, police, fire. Those people have set the standard for how successful Richmond is in this city. So, I mean, we don't touch how thankful we are for them, but without them, we wouldn't have trouble.
Well, I know that, you know, a lot of people y'all been doing these Zoom meetings for your commission meetings, been doing those, you know, you can stream them live on Facebook. When you go back and look at some of the comments that are made, how often do you guys try to, you know, help the people that they have a question, or they have a comment? How often do you go back and try to answer those questions or comments? And especially right now, it's a big time for that.
Every meeting.
Yeah.
Every meeting. Sometimes we do it immediately after the meeting.
Yeah.
We scan through the comments and, you know, address the people that have shared a thought or have an issue.
How do you guys decide, you know, well, this one I'm going to go talk to, or Mike can go talk to, or Jacob? How do you guys decide that?
We usually just tell the city manager.
Well, Rob, I need you to go do this. Somebody's got a question.
And that's my job, but I think it goes back to good communication and trust among us. And also, Mike hit on it very well. No one person in city government can keep us going or do the job. It's a team of people. And I lean very hard on my department heads. And I've built relationships with them that are trustworthy. I know I can trust them, and they come to me with good ideas. I go to them with ideas, and we sort through it, and that's the way it's supposed to work. And there's a real synergy now in city government, a real feeling of a team effort, and we're all in it together. And I know that's kind of cliche, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
It really is.
Well, let's take a commercial break. When we come back, still lots more to get to on this edition of Richmond Review. We'll come back and look at some of the grant money that's been made available for the city and other details going on with that as well. When we come back on the Richmond Review, live here on WBON TV.
Marissa, WBON TV has teamed up with the City Commissioners of Richmond to start what we are going to be calling Richmond Review.
That's right, Michael. You guys stay tuned for twice a month right here at WBON TV Studios, where we'll have all the commissioners right here to talk some hot topics from around Richmond.
We are starting this program known as Richmond Review to help inform the citizens about what's going on around Richmond.
The purpose of the show is to help the citizens stay up to date on new projects, upcoming events, new legislation, and other things going on in our city.
The show will air live on WBON twice a month on Thursdays at 12 o'clock, and we welcome feedback from the citizens of Richmond, along with questions related to the topics we will discuss during the show.
Along with the Richmond Review Show, all of us welcome you to our City Commission meetings during the month as well. Just download the My Richmond app to stay up to date. Thank you.
Make sure to like WBON TV on Facebook to see the live show.
For WBON TV, I'm Marissa Hempel.
And I'm Michael Watkins.
Here at WBON TV, we are very happy to be bringing the local news, weather, sports, community events, and conversations to you very soon on Richmond's new TV station, VHF Channel 9. While we continue installing equipment and expanding our facilities to officially launch this new media service to you, let us know where you're watching. Email us at information@wbontv.com and tell us if you're watching over the air, on cable, and what you think of the programming. Exciting things coming soon to Richmond's very own Channel 9.
Go back into Richmond Review live here on WBON TV, and the city just received a new grant for the homeless people in the city. So if you guys want to give us an update on that.
Well, we just got news this morning. Our community development coordinator, Tyler Johnson, who's done a phenomenal job, came across this grant. Had to do with the CARES Act money on the federal level. It's a grant to support overnight emergency housing. And we got word this morning we were awarded $52,000. That will go towards supporting the Room in the Inn program, which will be getting started here before long, but it'll pay for overnight stays for these homeless people. So, you know, it was a little over a year ago we had the homeless forum in City Hall and brought everybody together and talked about everybody's different resources. And then another idea that came up for us was supporting that and providing space for the Room in the Inn folks to intake these homeless people, get them processed and get them in a place to stay. And the city has provided that space on 2nd Street. And again, ideas from these guys and the mayor and Commissioner Grant was involved in that as well. But I like to see when we have a forum like that and bring everybody together, sometimes everybody gets together, goes their separate way, and there's no progress, but we have made progress. And the $52,000 grant will go towards supporting that program. We're excited about that.
Well, and you guys, you know, not too long ago, before the pandemic hit, you all were out like passing pizzas around to the homeless people here in the city, and trying to just help any way you can, really.
Well, that's homeless has been an issue for us ever since we took office in 2019. We're working on a program out there at our Veterans Center right now with those guys. Yeah. To develop an outreach for the homeless as well. So, I mean, it's an issue that we're well aware of and that we're taking seriously.
Well, Mike, and you don't really see it a lot, but there's a lot of homeless people here in the city, and you see the folks whenever you drive it, you stop at a red light, you get somebody holding a sign, and it's people like that that really need our help.
Well, what we decided to do as a group was to try to get a fix on just how many homeless that we have, so we can provide good care and to help them and to find places for them to stay. And then we did that with the Room at the Inn, and the mayor really spearfronted a lot of that, and so we all got together. But our main function for us is really as human beings is to help our fellow man kind of deal. So that's how we did with this.
Rob, you look at you talked about the money where it would go. So do you all have hotels locally that you work with to maybe give you a discounted rate for everything that's going on with that?
Last year the program used different churches for the overnight stays. This year the Room in the Inn folks have contracted with a local hotel to provide that overnight stay. And there's a real spirit in the community, and there's some momentum right now. We had a meeting this morning actually with several local leaders, and we feel like we're going down the road of developing a nonprofit organization that would support a Richmond Community Resource Center. And what we have right now is we have all these resources across the city, different people doing different things. Having one centralized resource center, kind of like one-stop shopping, if somebody comes to town and they need help with a tank of gas or an overnight stay or food, a family needs food, or addiction issues, we would also provide daily meals. We really are getting some momentum towards that. And there's actually a nonprofit that's already been formed by a group in town that we think we can use. We're taking a hard look at the Armory building and possibly $1 million community development block grant that would help us renovate that building and provide that building for those resources. So I think this is an issue every city has across the country. But I think we are taking positive steps to try to help people. And I think the key to that is having a social worker that can work cases when people come in, be it addiction or homelessness. Because you think about, and I hear these stories from people in our community all the time, there was a young man, 17 years old, homeless, had no support. You know, he couldn't get an ID, didn't know how to do that. He was staying at the Salvation Army, and a gal in the community got him a job at Kroger. But they need sometimes just to get on their feet and get some self-worth and realize they can be part of a community. So there's a lot of people in this community that are coming together towards this community resource center, and these guys are heavily involved with it, and the mayor, and it would be cool to see that to come to life.
And that's just something, again, that you guys are working together on, Ed, to try to help some of the issues that are going on in the city. And it seems like with this COVID stuff, everything is brought more into light because there's not as much going on. So to talk about that and how important this stuff is.
Oh no, it's absolutely important, and we go back to what we've said before. It's how lucky we are to be sitting here and having a person like Rob at the helm, making decisions and going out and reaching out to different community leaders, and we're also in a very good position where we've got the kind of community leaders that we have that are willing to sacrifice for the greater good of someone else.
Well, Mike, there's a lot of nonprofits here in the city. You know, you look at the Liberty Place, Habitat for Humanity, a lot of people like that and organizations like that need help. And this is another one that you all are working with as well.
Well, you know, we started the Liberty Place. I say we, but I sat on the commission when the Liberty Place was built and funded. And this community has always stepped up to help its people.
Yeah.
And what I say is how you act and what you do always influence somebody. And so I try to keep that in mind. And with these organizations coming together, we're going to help our people that are in distress.
Yeah.
So.
How important has the PPE and the CARES Act money been for the city?
Very important. We went through an extensive application process, and we were earmarked for $25,081,009 exactly. And so it wasn't just a matter of them sending us a check.
Yeah.
And what people need to understand is that back starting mid-March, we had almost every employee off for 10 weeks. We did have just essential staff in City Hall, and then also public safety, fire and police. And fire and police make up 50% of our $28 million budget. So what we did for them during that time, and again, these guys, this shows how we support our employees. We paid those folks what is called comp time. So they were getting regular pay and then also accumulating comp time, which can be used towards vacation. And, you know, with everybody being off at that time as well, we were paying them as well. So we didn't budget for that comp time payout to our public safety folks. And that $2.5 million filled that gap in our budget. and it went pretty quick, really, to be honest with you. We still have a second draw of $81,009, but it's been a huge help to us. And 98% of it was used towards budgeting or filling that gap for public safety, and then the other 2% was PPEs, and then electronic equipment we needed for virtual meetings, tablets and stuff.
I mean, and all that stuff has been a big deal. You know, and again, as we see these numbers go up, it could become even more important to have that stuff, and to be able to have it and use it just goes to show again that you are working together and you know what's important and you're heading in the right direction. Well, let's take one more commercial break. When we come back, a new personnel policy has been put in place, so we'll get the information on that when we come back. We are live here at Richmond Tourism, a beautiful building here in downtown Richmond. We'll come back on WBON TV.
Marissa, WBON TV has teamed up with the City Commissioners of Richmond to start what we are going to be calling Richmond Review.
That's right, Michael. You guys stay tuned for twice a month right here at WBON TV Studios. We'll have all the commissioners right here to talk some hot topics from around Richmond.
We are starting this program known as Richmond Review to help inform the citizens about what's going on around Richmond.
The purpose of the show is to help the citizens stay up to date on new projects, upcoming events, new legislation, and other things going on in their city.
The show will air live on WBON twice a month on Thursdays at 12 o'clock, and we welcome feedback from the citizens of Richmond, along with questions related to the topics we will discuss during the show.
Along with the Richmond Review Show, all of us welcome you to our City Commission meetings during the month as well. Just download the My Richmond app to stay up to date. Thank you.
Make sure to like WBON TV on Facebook to see the live show.
For WBON TV, I'm Marissa Hempel.
And I'm Michael Watkins.
Here at WBON TV, we are very happy to be bringing the local news, weather, sports, community events, and conversations to you very soon on Richmond's new TV station, VHF Channel 9. While we continue installing equipment and expanding our facilities to officially launch this new media service to you, let us know where you're watching. Email us at information@wbontv.com and tell us if you're watching over the air, on cable, and what you think of the programming. Exciting things coming soon to Richmond's very own Channel 9.
We're back on Richmond Review live here on WBON TV with City Manager Rob Minerich and City Commissioners Ed McDaniel and Mike Brewer. And Rob, I saw yesterday where the new personnel policy was passed in your all's meeting. Just kind of give us the details on that and what went into this decision.
Well, you know, really, other than the budget, I think the personnel policy is probably the second most important document that we have in the city. And many, many years ago, I think it was started in 2015, Kentucky League of Cities was hired to give the city of Richmond guidance on updating their personnel policy. That drug on for 3.5 years, didn't get done. And when I came on board in June of 2018, I was assured by our human resource leadership it would get done. It didn't get done starting in 2019 into 2019. So we made some changes in that department, and we formed a 7-person committee, colleagues there in City Hall, all that were stakeholders in it. And we met for about 3 months every Thursday for 2 to 3 hours and got through it, followed federal and state guidelines along with guidance from the Kentucky League of Cities. The new policy benefits the employee with adding a holiday of New Year's Eve, an emergency day, and allows them to roll over vacation time. And we did some changes with bereavement and also 4 hours to vote. So it's a better policy. It updates it, and we'll update it on an annual basis now. It's kind of a living document that we can tweak annually as we need to and keep it up to date.
And who all would be affected by this?
All city employees,
okay.
All full-time city employees. Yeah, that's right.
So, Mike, I know you've got a lot of ideas about this, and we're heavily involved, I'm guessing, in this decision.
Well, and I'm going to put part of the blame on Commissioner McDaniel too, because we hounded.
I was going to say, yeah, they hounded me pretty hard to get it done.
We wanted, when we got together, when we first got elected, we said we want a personnel policy, and we what we wanted to see was the changes that our city manager has just mentioned, and he provided that. The group got together. Now, what he didn't tell you was that when COVID struck, they had to slow down meeting, so we
Yeah.
didn't get it on it as quick as we wanted to because of that problem. But I think if you, what are we, 35 pages on our personnel policy?
It's 135 pages.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
And so when
Now, don't tell me you read all those pages now.
all but one.
Okay. Is there any pictures in it?
I drew them. But what's serious, and honestly, our employees needed a personnel policy that was that they could go by, and so does city government need that in order to provide what is necessary for the employees. So,
Well, not having it makes us vulnerable and liable.
Yes.
And these guys, I needed pushed along by these guys, both of them, Ed and Mike, and the mayor as well, because it's a mundane task. And, to be quite honest with you, it goes back to the teamwork there in City Hall, the 7-member committee. There was days, we were banging our heads against the wall for different things. You can really get caught up in the weeds and something like that. But we had some fun with it too, and it's done, and I'm glad to get it checked off my list. They won't quit calling me though, I guarantee.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, and that just goes to show the relationship that you all have. And
Yeah.
when a big decision needs to be made, it's easier whenever you all are on the same page to make
Absolutely.
that decision, right, Ed? I mean, and you guys are all on the same page.
and let me say this: he calls and hounds us too.
I do. That goes both ways.
Yeah, but he does it on like Saturday and Sunday.
Are you up yet? It's 4 o'clock.
It's 4 o'clock now. You should be up.
Ed's out fishing, and Mike's, he's in there taking selfies of himself.
I'm going like this. Is it daylight?
You don't get out much on the weekend, do you, Mike? Well, when you look down the pipeline, is there anything else going on within the city right now that could interest people? I know, do we have a date maybe as to when the Christmas parade? I know you mentioned that the reverse parade. Do we have an idea of?
I meant to look it up before I got here, and I was in a hurry and forgot. But if you go to the Parks and Recreation website, it's
Okay.
on there. I think it's the second Saturday of December, but I don't
believe
know
it
for
is.
sure. Is that
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
it is?
And will it be at Alumni for the folks to drive by and see it,
I
or
think Lake
downtown?
Reba
Okay, Lake
is the
Reba. Okay,
plans,
yeah. Okay.
So I should have looked at that before I got
Think
on
you're
there,
right.
but I forgot. But go to Parks and Recreation website, and it'll have all the information. It'll be a fun time. I think, and the mayor says this frequently, Richmond is poised to really take it to the next level, and we are. We're getting a lot of very serious looks by large industry.
Yeah.
I think you saw the announcement yesterday in the county for App Harvest coming in. That's a big deal. Of course, we have Buc-ee's going out at Exit 83. We've got several others we can't talk about, but, when people give Madison County and Richmond and Berea a hard look, it normally has to do with the quality of life and the workforce. And we still have that Southern charm community feel. And we have a workforce that is very good, so the future's bright for Richmond.
Well, to me, I think when you look at this, at not only Richmond but Berea as well, you see a lot of folks that go to EKU and they go to Berea and they stick around for a good reason. They feel comfortable here. To me, Richmond is a perfect place because for me, it's an easy drive back home. I'm from Breathitt County.
Yeah.
It's an hour drive there. It's close to Lexington if I need to get to Lexington for any reason. So it's very convenient. And then you just see how hard that these commissioners and you and Mayor Blythe are working to continue to improve the city. How often do you talk to or work with the folks over in Berea?
Weekly, actually. Their city administrator, David Gregory, and I are friends and talk frequently about problems we both have and how to handle them. We've been having a weekly COVID-19 meeting now since this started,
Yeah.
and that includes Judge Taylor, Mayor Fraley, David Gregory, the hospital executives, the health department, our group, emergency operations.
And we just
so-
worked together on the on the
Halloween.
airport.
Oh, yeah.
Airport, as well. So, there is a lot of interlocal government cooperation right now, is what I would say. We just, we had the airport water and sewer financing that we're partnering on. So we talk frequently, and we all know what's going on with each other.
Well, guys, I appreciate you all taking the time out of your day once again to keep us updated on everything going on with the city. I know you guys have a very busy couple of weeks ahead, and good luck in that. And, we just want to see this city continue to move forward. That's the big thing right now, and we appreciate all the hard work that you guys have done in getting us to where we are now. Now we have to continue to move forward in those efforts. So, folks, thank you for hanging out with us. Don't forget, at 3 p.m. today, we will have the WBON TV newscast, your daily community briefing, and it'll be at 3 p.m. today on WBON TV and 100.7 The Coyote. For City Commissioners Ed McDaniel and Mike Brewer, City Manager Rob Minerich, I'm Michael Watkins. Folks, have a great rest of your day. We'll see you later on from all of us here at Richmond Review on WBON TV.